Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now, I've just been spending a lot of time in the greenhouse doing a lot of repots. And just for a change, I went right against the grain of what I believe and started potting them up in sphagnum. They haven't been doing very well for 12 months. So this includes the Phagmipediums, the Sarcochilus and various other ones, including the Dendrobiums. But I've repotted about 60 in it, and I also did one cattleya about a month ago. I think I did it. Might be only be 3 weeks ago. So I'm just going to take that down and we'll go and have a look at it in a bit after I've shown you what I've repotted. Well, to start with, there's these Masdevallias. I think there's 12 or 13 of them, and they've been all repotted in sphagnum, and they've only been done sort of less than 48 hours ago, and so I can't come to any conclusion of they're doing well or not. I know when I took it out, there's one over there coming up with some very nice new growths, and there's new growths on quite a few of them, but I'm hoping this sphagnum will help them to come on a little bit quicker. I've done one or two of these Chelinostellis. They've been very, very slow, and here's the Dendrobiums I've got. They're coming on very, very nicely. Some Sarcochilus there. It was coming virtually from a dead plant, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, and I think they're doing quite well. We've got one here, Pistachia green hornet, that's putting up a nice spike. And these are an absolutely, well, they're an unusual flower. They're sort of an upside down flower, but the perfume on them is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to that one flowering, and there's some more. If I turn it around, can I see some more growth coming up? Yep, there's 2 there. The growth coming up there, and another one coming up there. So we'll leave that in what it's in, which is a mixture of medium bark and a fine bark. Well, I've got 3 tomato plants in here. They're growing very, very well in the heat of the greenhouse. And they're just spiking or coming out with some blooms at the top. Nothing down at the bottom for some reason. There you can see them. But I've got 3, and they're doing okay. In fact, I'm enjoying these just for a change, and I like the smell of them when you take a leaf off and crush it between your fingers, like that one there, because that one is growing in the middle, you see, and you've got to take all these off. Oh, I'm not good with my left hand. There we are. We take that one off, because that makes another head and takes the strength out of the one that you want. So I just crush that up and smell it. Absolutely beautiful. Well, this is the cattleya that was doing absolutely nothing. There was no roots on it or anything. So I brought it in here, trimmed off all the dead roots, and I put it in here about, what, it could have been 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. So we're going to check it out, see if anything's happened. The leaves don't look very good on it, but the latest growth doesn't look too bad. So we'll take it out of the pot and have a good look at it. We'll take the hangers off. You see, I've got a thick jacket on today because it's absolutely freezing outside. It's about 12 degrees, that's all. A little bit warmer in here, but I don't want to take my jacket off yet. So let's have a look at this. And it's Chongu Swan. think this should be white, but if there's any root growth on it, I'll be highly pleased. Well, I can't see any yet. I can see a new growth coming up there, but no new. Oh yeah, there's a new root there. Let's see what else there is. Oh, there's a new root there. So there's one. That's an old root, that one. So there's 1, 2, another one coming there, 3, 4 new roots on that one. Ah, that's good. So we'll put this back into the sphagnum moss, lest we upset it too much. It's not planted very heavily with sphagnum moss, just enough so just hold it in place. And it's got plenty of air and plenty of dampness coming off the sphagnum moss, which they like. So up to now I'm quite pleased, but I don't know, the ones inside are doing well. They've never been anywhere near moss. But it looks like if you're having trouble, try a bit of moss. That's what I've done with all my others as well. Getting a bit of trouble with them, so I put them in the sphagnum just to see how they go on. We've got a little Dendrobium nobile here. Those are the original canes on it, or pseudobulbs. Not a leaf in sight and nothing coming out of it, because the flowers have just dropped off. We've got 1, 2 new growths, and we've got, well, one of the new growths is a cakey, so I'll let that develop before I take it off. There's a little, might be another one developing at the side of it. So I'm not very good with dendrobiums, but we'll have another go with this one, and we'll pot it up when the roots have got at least 2 inches long. We'll take it off and give it its own little pot, and hope it comes on from there. Here's quite a large Phalaenopsis, Phagmipedium, that I've been trying to get to bloom. It was given to me, as I've said before, by a gentleman who couldn't get it to bloom. He said it was in bloom when he bought it, but it hasn't bloomed since. And it's not doing anything for me neither, although it is growing new leaves all over the place. But absolutely no signs of any blooms. So I don't know what to do with that one. Don't know whether to repot it or split it, because splitting sometimes forces it into blooming. But it's such a nice plant that I'm a bit undecisive whether to split it or not. I know I've shown you this on the last video, but I think with age it's developing a little bit more colour, you know, a lot more purple. I've got the Dipladenia sanderi in here now, and this was a cutting that Jeff from 53 Degrees North gave me. That's when it was repotted. I must have chopped 3 or 4 yards of growth off it, and I put it in here now, and it's clinging to this wire and growing quite nicely. No flowers on it yet, but plenty of new growth, so hopefully that'll do fine, because the flowers on these are beautiful red colour. It looks doing quite well, and when it starts spreading right along here, it'll make a lovely backdrop for the Phagmipediums. Now the only other thing I can show you is this Dracula woolwardii. Absolutely gorgeous plant, but an awful long time it takes to flower again after it's flowered before. plenty and plenty of new spikes coming. Even spike growing up there. But when it does flower, this is absolutely lovely. See another one coming out there as well. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spikes hanging down, and plenty of new growths on it. So this is doing very well. And what I do, I just feed this once a week with seaweed extract, and that's all I'm giving it, and it seems to be doing very well. But I keep it nice and damp. So I think I better try these on a few more plants. That's the seaweed extract. Seems to be doing very nicely. Now here's a plant I'm really struggling with, and this is a Dracula solii. That all the leaves went brown, like it got some of that fungus that I got on me Phagmipediums. Probably fed it with the same water when I shouldn't have done. But there's a few new growths coming up now, and I've planted it all in, this is another one, I planted all in sphagnum moss. I've had this maybe 2 years, and I've never seen a spike off it yet. But hopefully the sphagnum moss will do the trick for me. We'll see anyhow. You can't do anything else but try, can you? Here's the Angraecum veitchii that grew and grew, and they had to chop it down. And it's doing very well. We've got a nice new leaf coming up there, and it's quite a big plant. It must be at least 2 foot or more across, and it's in a big pot there, and the roots are doing quite well underneath because I had it out about 5 weeks ago. Now this is a Phagmipedium that I think this is a Fritz Schomburg, one of them, that put up a black leaf in the middle. Now that was supposed to be caused by a lack of calcium, but what I did, I dropped some dragon's blood right down the middle, quite a bit of it, and I'm pleased to say, if you can see it there, right by the side, there's another new green leaf coming up, if you can see it. Yep, I can't pull that black leaf off neither, you just have to grow out and dye that one. But they say it's a lack of calcium, that, so I'll have to up my calcium. Here's another Fritz Schomburg that's putting up 2 growths there, so that's looking okay. I mean, they all got sprayed heavily with a fungicide, systemic fungicide, about 2.5 weeks ago, so at the end of this week I'll be dosing them again with it just to see what goes on. It seems to be doing alright because I've cut all the brown leaves off, I've taken all the dead leaves off, I've removed as much of the fungus that I can. But I don't know, years ago, I've just remembered years ago what we used to do if we're getting fungus on plants, used to wipe the leaves with a bit of milk, which neutralised all the places that the fungus spores used to get onto. Ah well, milk's a bit dear these days though to do that, isn't it? Everything's dear. It's unbelievable, the price of things. I mean, over here it's dreadful. I mean, I think you're paying about £5 a gallon or something, 4.5, £5 a gallon in the States for petrol, and over here we're paying about £8 or £9 a gallon. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyhow, we'll not go into politics, it doesn't do, does it? You know, I think my dad says, if you're talking to anybody who you don't know properly, don't talk about politics or don't talk about religion. And I think it was good advice, that. Anyway, we'll just finish up by having a look at this last path. It's the Richter, the only one that's flowering. There's a couple of buds dropped off there. There's another 3 still on that's going to flower. There's another spike here that's getting ready for blooming. There's one here where it's just opening up, very tiny at the moment. Another bulb there, and another growth down here, a spike. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.